booted it!
Thanks!
Guess I'm on guard duty. Yes.
All right. Let me know if you change your mind.
Making me name.
Commencing quest now. Are you prepared? I'll sit tight.
Good to have you. it now.
Hang on, Hunter.
You set a trap.
I placed a trap!
I'll draw its attention.
Of course! Come back anytime.
Are you looking for something? There you are.
Got this!
You received supply items. Don't let them go to waste.
Time for a few quick reps.
Thanks, that helped.
Thanks. That helped. All right,
Alright,
no
no
worries.
worries.
fierce monster. Yes. secrets pouch.
Have a nice hunt. Time for a few quick reps.
all set to go.
Hold yourself together!
Let's take stock of the situation.
Okay, let's up the pace.
right.
Good to have you.
Challenging quest, but that just makes for a sweeter victory.
Hello.
their own fault for not having flinch resist, right? Now, let's dive straight in with our core moves and combos. Our basic triangle or Y combo hits 3 times and is repeatable. It's a double overhead slash followed by a crescent slash from the side. When we press circle or B, we will perform our quick thrust forward. This one is extremely useful because it combos into other abilities which I will cover later. Pressing circle or B again performs a fast rising slash. When pressing triangle and circle or Y and B together, we will perform a fade slash, which covers a wide horizontal area in front of you and makes the character take a step back. If you combo it after other attacks, you can use your directional input to step to the sides instead. You can combo these hits together for infinite protection. In the top left corner, just below your sharpest area, you will find a thin long sword. It fills up with each of your basic hits. This is the spirit gauge bar, the main mechanic of the longsword. When it's filled, it allows us to perform multiple spirit actions, which I will cover in a bit. The basic one though is the spirit blade combo by pressing R2. It is a strong 4-hit combo which consumes the bar and ends in a spirit round slash. If that connects, your spirit gauge will level up. There are 4 levels. Your base level, level 1 which has a white border, level 2 with a yellow one, and level 3 has a red border. The higher you level, the more damage your attacks do. And at level 3, your triangle or Y attacks become empowered crimson slashes, which hit multiple times. When you reach level 3, you will start with a full gauge, and pressing R2 doesn't consume the bar anymore. Also, level 3 extends your spirit combo by 1. You can press R2 once more after the spirit round slash to attack with a spinning crimson slash, which deals a lot of damage. Each gauge will slowly expire if you don't keep leveling them up. Your basic attacks can also be comboed with your spirit blade attacks, as long as you have enough spirit. This makes the gameplay extremely fluid. When you jump off a ledge, you can either press triangle or Y for a normal jump attack, or if you have spirit, you can press R2 for a spirit blade attack. Alright, now that we covered the basics, let's go into more advanced stuff. First, let's take a look at all the special spirit actions we can perform. If we hold R2 after an attack, we will perform the spirit charge. Your character circles the longsword in front of them and your gauge is filling up. Depending on how long you charge it up, it will either do a spirit slash attack, or if it's fully charged, a spirit round slash, which increases your gauge level by 1. By pressing R2 and triangle Y, we will do a spirit thrust. If you're at least at white gauge, you will follow up with a jump in the air. Press triangle or Y again and you will perform the most iconic longsword attack, the Helmbreaker. It hits the monster multiple times and consumes a full level of your spirit gauge. You can also reposition yourself mid-air with your directional inputs. At red gauge, you can press R2 once more to perform the extreme cool looking spirit release slash. Our character spins around, gets hyper armor, and a whirling tornado of cuts hits the monster. But this consumes another level of your gauge. If you think your Helmbreaker will miss, you can also press X or A during the jump to cancel the attack and not waste the level. Ideally, we want to use our Helmbreaker combo at level 3 for maximum damage. Now for our next special attack, the Foresight Slash. This is our most reliable counter. It can only be used after another attack and you need at least a tiny bit of spirit stored up. Press R2 and circle or B after an attack and your character will do an evasive maneuver and counter with an upward slash afterwards. This attack depletes your full spirit gauge, no matter if you're at 1% or 100. But if you time it correctly, you won't take any damage. And if you manage to connect your follow-up hit after a perfect await, you will instantly fill up your gauge. You can then press R2 again to perform a spirit round slash, which increases your gauge level by 1. The fastest way to perform the Foresight Slash is after a thrust or an upward slash attack. If you're at red gauge, the Foresight Slash becomes a Foresight Whirl Slash, which looks flashier and does more damage. It also does not deplete your gauge fully. Our third R2 combo move is the Special Sheath. After an attack, we can press R2 and X or A to perform it. Your character sheaths the weapon in a true samurai fashion and is waiting for another input for 3.5 seconds. While holding L2, you can also turn in any direction you want. From here on, we have 2 options. Either we press triangle or Y for an EI slash, or we press R2 for a spirit EI slash. Hitting at least one of the 2 hits of your normal EI slash will make your spirit gauge fill up slowly over time. The spirit EI slash is our second counter attack. If you time it correctly, we will avoid damage, hit the monster and level up our gauge by 1. The timing can be hard though, so you will need to practice a bit. Now let's talk about the new mechanic in Monster Hunter Wilds, the focus mode. When you hold L2 and press R1 to hit a wound, you will perform the Focus Strike Unbound Thrust. First, you stab the wound and then you will follow up with a slash that can be directed with your movement input. After a small delay, you will pop all the wounds that you hit. And here's the best part. For each pop wound, your gauge will level up by 1. After that, you can press R2 2 more times to combo into a Spirit Round Slash for another level up. Make sure to use slash is after a thrust or an upward slash. Can be used after another attack, and you need at least a tiny bit of spirit stored up. Press R2 and circle or B after an attack, and your character will do an evasive maneuver and counter with an upward slash afterwards. This attack depletes your full spirit gauge, no matter if you're at 1% or 100. But if you time it correctly, you won't take any damage. And if you manage to connect your follow-up hit after a perfect await, you will instantly fill up your gauge. You can then press R2 again to perform a spirit round slash, which increases your gauge level by 1. The fastest way to perform the foresight slash is after a thrust or an upward slash attack. If you are at red gauge, the foresight slash becomes a foresight whirl slash, which looks flashier and does more damage. It also does not deplete your gauge fully. Our third R2 combo move is the special sheath. After an attack, we can press R2 and X or A to perform it. Your character sheaths the weapon in a true samurai fashion and is waiting for another input for 3.5 seconds. While holding L2, you can also turn in any direction you want. From here on, we have two options. Either we press triangle or Y for an EI slash, or we press R2 for a spirit EI slash. Hitting at least one of the two hits of your normal EI slash will make your spirit gauge fill up slowly over time. The spirit EI slash is our second counter attack. If you time it correctly, we will avoid damage, hit the monster, and level up our gauge by 1. The timing can be hard though, so you will need to practice it. Now, let's talk about the new mechanic in Monster Hunter Wilds, the focus move. When you hold L2 and press R1 to hit a wound, you will perform the focus strike unbound. First, you step the wound, and then you will follow up with a slash that can be directed with your movement input. After a small delay, you will pop all the wounds that you hit. And here's the best part. For each pop wound, your gauge will level up by 1. After that, you can press R2 2 more times to combo with a spirit round slash for another level up. Make sure to use that as often as possible to level up your gauge fast. Alright, we know how to attack and defend. Now, how do we apply this in a real hunt? Here are some tips. Our general playstyle is pretty much pump and dump. Get red gauge, use the handbreaker combo, and repeat. But if the monster is moving a lot, you can just keep attacking with your red gauge until you find an opening. A strong combo is pressing triangle or Y and then R2. You can combo it infinitely for many quick hits. Then, when you see an opening, send the handbreaker. Thanks to our two counter attacks, we can and should stay aggressive all the time. That's where the high skill ceiling comes from. You need to understand the monster's moveset to get the most out of the launch. But once you get the hang out of it, you will be pretty much invincible. If you have no spirit gauge, but you want to do a foresight slash, there's a little trick. You can use the spirit charge by holding R2 to get a tiny amount of spirit and then instantly press circle or B to do the foresight slash. Also, if you are already at red gauge and the monster has wounds, dump your gauge with your handbreaker combo first, before you pop the wound. This way we can do multiple handbreaker combos after another. Got questions? Drop a comment or ask me live on twitch.tv/NinoMMO. If this video helped, hit that subscribe button and consider supporting me directly on Patreon. It really helps me keep making these no bullshit guides. Want to know the best longsword armor skills? Check out this video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Welcome to my no bullshit greatsword guide from Monster Hunter Wilds. The greatsword is the signature weapon of the Monster Hunter series. The entire game is balanced around it. It hits like a truck, can block, counter, and even lets you kick monsters. This weapon is for you if you love big numbers, wielding a massive sword, and body checking through the hardest hitting attacks. The downside? You're slow, for the movement and attack speed. But once you master it, you'll fall in love with that raw power. Now, let's dive straight in with our core moves and combos. The basic attack chain starts with an overhead slash by pressing triangle or Y, which then combos into a strong slash, and finally leads into the signature move of the greatsword, the true charge slash, also known as TCS. This is your most powerful attack. Each of these stages can be charged by holding down triangle or Y. Charging has 3 stages, visible with a colored flash and a sound effect. With each charge you do more damage, but you don't want to overcharge past stage 3. If you hold it for too long, you will actually lose damage. Ideally you want to release the attack as soon as your character flash is red. A new feature in Monster Hunter Wilds is the focus move. While charging you can hold the L2 button to actually aim your attack. This makes hitting your big swing so much easier. After TCS you have a long recovery animation, so you should always roll out of it instead of just standing still. Now for a circle or B button, pressing it performs a wide slash, which covers a large horizontal area in front of you. This move is mostly used for dealing with small monsters. If you press it again, you will follow up with a shoulder tackle. And this is one of your most important moves. I will explain it in more detail later. Finally, after the tackle, there's the leaping wide slash, which moves you forward a good distance but doesn't do a lot of damage. This one is mostly for repositioning. Pressing triangle and circle, or Y and B together, it forms the rising slash, a vertical attack that hits high and launches teammates in the air, so be careful in multiplayer. You can also charge this move by holding down the buttons, turning it into the offset rising slash. If you time it correctly with a monster attack, you will knock the monster back and follow up with a huge cross slash for massive damage. This is our big counter, and mastering it will make your hunt so much easier. Almost all of these basic combos can be comboed together. Now let's talk about cliffs and slides. If we jump off a ledge and press triangle or Y, we will do a video game like air hop and perform a jumping charge slash. It can also be charged up like our normal charge attacks. We can also press R2 to step down, which is faster but does less damage. And if we slide down a slope, we can press and hold triangle or Y to charge up a rising slash for another jump attack. Alright, now that we covered the basics, let's go into more advanced stuff. First, let's take another look at the shoulder tackle. It is one of the most important tools in your kit. Why? Because it gives you hyper armor, which means you take reduced damage and you won't get knocked back when a monster hits you. We can also cancel our triangle or Y charges. This way we can reposition ourselves and overpower an incoming monster attack to continue our combo. And here's the best part, tackling skips charge levels. This means you can go straight into your true charge slash. Just start charging, tackle, charge again, tackle again, and then go into your TCS. If you time the tackle just right, you will even keep your current charge levels, saving you time. And as a little bonus, tackling also does KO damage. So if you hit the monster's head at the right moment, you might actually knock it out while it's attacking you. You can also tackle straight out of a roll by pressing triangle or Y. And if you press it again after the tackle, you will follow up with a strong charge slash. Now, let's talk about the new mechanic of MHWILD, the focus mode. When you hold L2 and press R1, you will perform the focus slash perforate. This attack looks awesome and deals a good amount of wound damage. If you land this attack on a wounded part, you can immediately follow it up with a true charge slash by pressing triangle or Y. Use this whenever possible to create an opening for big damage. The great sword is so massive that you can also use it to block incoming attacks. Just hold R2 to block. Most attacks can be blocked, but you will take chip damage depending on how strong they are. But if you time it just right, you will perform a perfect block, which completely negates all the damage. Blocking might also trigger the clash animation. When this happens, spam triangle or Y to push the monster back and follow up with a strong attack. Alright, now let's talk about the move you've all been waiting for, the kick. Yes, you can kick monsters. While holding block, press triangle or Y to perform the legendary kick. It does almost no damage, but it looks cool as hell. And if you press triangle or Y again, you will follow up with a shoulder tackle. This way you can tackle slightly faster than with the other methods, so it might come in handy. Okay, we know how to attack and defend. Now, how do we apply that in a real hunt? Here are some tips. Our playstyle revolves around finding the right moment to charge up our big hit. But remember, a quick non-charge attack that hits is always better than a fully charged one that misses. If a monster is too fast, don't be afraid to quick draw into an attack, then cheat and reposition. You also don't have to charge up every single hit. For example, you could hit the first 2 slashes without a charge and then charge up the TCS. But if the monster is down and you have a big damage window, this is your highest damage combo. Start with a fully charged slash, then follow up with a fully charged strong slash. After that, go into a strong wide slash by pressing circle or B, and finally finish with a true charge slash. This combo takes a long time to execute, so only use it if you know there's enough time for it. Also, make sure to practice and utilize your offset rising slash to counter incoming attacks. It lets you play more aggressive, and the follow-up cross slash does huge damage. And you know what's better than an alarm clock? A great sword user. If a monster falls asleep, it takes double damage from the first hit it takes. So make sure to wake it up with a true charge slash for the biggest damage. To do this correctly, stand next to the monster and look away from it. Start with an overhead slash, then combo it into a strong slash, and start charging up your true charge slash. Make sure to only hit the second hit of your TCS for max damage. You can use the focus mode to aim precisely. Got any questions? Drop a comment or ask me live on twitch.tv/LinoMMO. If this video helped, hit that subscribe button and consider supporting me directly. True charge slash for the biggest damage. To do this correctly, stand next to the monster and look away from it. Start with an overhead slash, then combo it into a strong slash, and start charging up your true charge. Make sure to only hit the second hit of your DCS for max damage. You can use the focus mode to aim precisely. Got any questions? Drop a comment or ask me live on twitch.tv/NinoMMO. If this video helped, hit that subscribe button and consider supporting me directly on Patreon. It really helps me keep making these no bullshit guides. And want to know the best great sword armor skills? Check out this video here. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Look at the waist.
That rising slash. If you time it correctly with a monster attack. Welcome to my no bullshit longsword guide from Monster Hunter Wilds. The longsword is the most popular weapon in the Monster Hunter series for a reason. It's fast and flashy, has insane counters to let you play extremely aggressive, and you cut tails like butter. This weapon is for you if you love covering monsters in thousands of cuts while dodging all of their attacks, because the power of God and anime is on your side. The downside, you have to constantly manage your spirit gauge bar, and while it's easy to learn, the skill ceiling is incredibly high. Oh, and your teammates, they will hate you. It's their own fault for not having flinch resist, right? Now, let's dive straight in with our core moves and combos. Our basic triangle or Y combo hits 3 times and is repeatable. It's a double overhead slash followed by a crescent slash from the side. When we press circle or B, we will perform our quick thrust forward. This one is extremely useful because it combos into other abilities, which I will cover later. Pressing circle or B again performs the fast rising slash. When pressing
Wow,
triangle
we
and
sure got
circle
here
or Y and
fast.
B together, we will perform a fade slash.